Says you are live.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing, Ribhu?
I am good. It's been a long day. So, protein shake on the go and look at some deals.
Awesome, awesome. Hopefully, you guys are joining in soon. We did start a few minutes early, but hopefully, we'll see some people coming in from Facebook and YouTube as well. Um, you are able to, if leave comments either on the Facebook side or YouTube side, able to see both, and we're able to answer your questions live if you do it that way.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah. Oh, we got our first viewer in today. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, people are starting to join in on us.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I guess we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to be looking at today. Today we have some really interesting properties. They're actually listed like one of them was listed 6 hours ago. The other one was listed like 2 days ago. So fresh off the books. Is that a real saying? I don't know, but
Fresh
it's
off the
a
press.
fresh out the.
That's what you're looking for.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So that's what we got going on here. They're both really interesting properties. One of them is in Belleville. It is a duplex conversion property, except it's already got an in-law suite. So in terms of the work you need to do, is going to be a lot less. And the other property is in Trenton. Is actually a little bit cheaper. Very, quite
Well
affordable from an
priced.
entry level standpoint, but
100%.
uh, you do have to do a full duplex conversion on that. So from a renovation cost standpoint, it is going to it's going to cost you more. Plus, it is Trenton, so you expect the purchase price to be a little lower as well.
Yep.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Uh, present. Oh, I should have done this earlier.
Hmm.
Oh, also, this property we actually highlighted, I think 2 weeks ago, I believe,
Yep.
as a
Yeah.
triplex conversion. They
Last week, I
actually
think.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, last week, and
Yeah.
they actually just reduced their price. I believe they were
Ooh.
529 before. Now it's 4999. So if you guys, when
Wow.
you if triplex conversions are a thing for you, you sound a little excited.
I was,
um,
I don't know, George. You want a JV on this or what?
you think I have money? um,
You
but
need a
it's
refinance there, bud, or what?
yeah. When I get to that, yeah, for sure. So this we highlighted this a couple weeks ago, last week as an interesting triplex conversion. They just dropped their price down to 499, and if we couldn't convince you at the previous price of 529 or 539, something like that. Now it's
Mm.
500,000. I think it's a pretty interesting property. I think it's quite reasonable for a triplex conversion, and it's a great neighborhood. So definitely check out the other video, and then you put that in the context of the new purchase price for this one. Okay, so we're moving on to our first property. It is 20 Union Street, and it is in Belleville. Um, we'll look at the description real quick. So what's screaming out to me is that it's already got a basement in-law suite. Do you want to tell everybody what an in-law suite usually means, Ribu?
Oh yeah, so it usually means there's everything you need for a second unit. So, if you had in-laws in there, generational home, that kind of thing. So, you have kitchen down there already, bathroom down there already. The kitchen's some sort of functional fridge, etc. So it's a pretty good snipe, especially when you can do it for something like a duplex conversion, because you have most things there, even if you need to upgrade it, most of the systems are already in place. It's pretty sweet. Also,
Yeah,
side note, even if you're buying one for yourself in-law suite, some lenders do consider that potential income towards qualifying. So
right.
it helps.
So when they say in-law suite, the reason they use in-law suite instead of mentioning that is a legal secondary dwelling or
Mhm.
accessory dwelling is because it's not actually legal properly legal as for
It's close.
two separate families. So it's supposed to be for your actual
Yeah.
in-laws where you're actually from the same family, you just happen to have two kitchens, maybe your grandma's living in there or whatever. It's intended to be for your in-laws. So from an investor's perspective, when we look at an in-law suite, how we see it is, oh look, there's already a kitchen down there, there's already an entrance, most of what we need is already there. We just need to kind of just go through the motions and getting that building permit to legalize this. so that we have
Yep.
2 legal units. So that's what this has to offer: a basement in-law suite, separate kitchen and entrance, main level hardwood floors in the, I don't know what that stands for.
Huh.
Living room, yes, hallway and 3 bedrooms. Cheater ensuite, eating kitchen, lower levels. Okay, so let's take a look at the pictures and see what we got here.
Yeah. So pretty standard brick
Oh god,
bungalow. Oh,
pretty standard brick bungalow. It's
yeah.
a, from what you can
I
see
like.
here, it looks like a side split.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it's a pretty wide driveway. You can't really see the edge of
Yeah,
it, but it does look pretty wide first class, especially good when you're, wanting to do a split on it.
absolutely.
It's a front
Okay,
entrance. Yeah, it's
not
nice up
much you
there.
need to do actually.
Oh, it looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I would say the upstairs is, based on what I've seen so far, is pretty much move-in ready.
Yeah.
Hardwood floors, they look pretty good. You don't even have to refinish them, in my opinion.
No, like it
I'm not
looks
a big,
it looks pretty nice.
I'm not a fan of the color of the walls, but that's an easy
No.
solution.
Yeah.
Bathroom looks a little bit more dated, but that's a
Yeah.
trivial thing to address. It is pretty cool that they have tile all the way around like this. Some of the older homes
Yeah.
they have that style. Um, would you? I know some people, what they do is they take the white tile paint and they paint it over and really modernize it for very cheap. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know if I would really do that. Just for longevity too. I don't know. I've actually never used a tile paint though. Like I don't know how
Uh,
that would hold up against moisture over time. Like
I've
would it
well,
wear
this
down?
one, well, you're not doing it around the shower. This is just around the sink, more of a backsplash,
Sure.
right? So I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect it to be being exposed to too much water. But I've seen it done really well where you probably see a lot of the 1950s tile where it's like
Sure.
pink or green, and I've seen it
Mm,
look really good after it's been painted over.
yeah.
And then there's
Oh,
your
I
other
definitely
bedrooms,
paint that room. Yep. Okay, I'd paint that room.
especially the ceiling. Notice how the ceiling is also
Yeah,
green.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, a little bit of this stuff here probably would really make a big difference to modernize it, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Kitchen here is where you could probably make the most dramatic impact.
Yeah.
Um, would you consider? I'd probably just put a whole new kitchen in. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, personally, I would. I mean, it does look pretty solid shape if you kind of refinish that. That being said, I love the IKEA kitchens. They're pretty
Yeah.
affordable. They look pretty modern. They are pretty resilient if you buy the right ones. And it'll give the whole place a fresh look. At a minimum, I'd be taking down those upper cabinets. I know Lamir's
Yes.
there somewhere yelling at me because I'm getting rid of storage, but I don't know. It just makes the place feel a little cramped, right? So
Yeah, and from based on what you could see, the countertops actually look okay. They look
yeah,
almost new. So if you took these upper cabinets off and maybe you could paint the cabinets, and if you want
yeah,
to do an affordable renovation, that's a definitely way you can do it. And something to keep in mind, if you are redoing this kitchen entirely, you see this door here? That's where you would go down into the basement. If you were fully
yeah,
legalizing it, you'd be removing this door entirely, at which point you may consider, do I really need that staircase? And if I don't need that staircase, can I extend this floor further and make the kitchen just bigger? Maybe you can change
sure.
your layout of the kitchen entirely with that in mind. There's
Yeah,
the dining room, linoleum. Definitely want to probably put new flooring there.
yeah.
Yeah, see the countertop is
I
new.
do like the size though. Like it's a good size of
Mhm.
kitchen. Like I think if you get rid of those upper cabinets, like you'd be in a pretty nice
Oh,
spot.
you do have a dishwasher. You don't
Yeah,
see that too often, actually.
oh, that's nice. It's a solid kitchen for sure.
Yeah, and then I guess this is the basement, so that's the side door, down the stairs, and here's your downstairs kitchen. Uh, Definitely putting a new one in, unless you want
Yeah.
to just scrape by with the bare minimum.
I'd put
But
a
this
new
is,
one in. Again, like it's super minimal and little things like just over the sink, adding some, extra storage, like some shorter cabinets and stuff for people's like mugs and plates and like those little things go a long way when people do viewings and they walk through, they are trying to envision themselves in the space and for not much money, it'll make it look really nice.
I'm really curious what this door goes to because that could be valuable cabinet space, right?
100%.
All right, and here's the rest of the kitchen. Just from a quick look, it looks like the ceiling heights are more than sufficient.
Yeah.
And natural gas fireplace. Would you keep that or get rid of that?
Personally, I get rid of the fireplaces. I know it's nice, but I just don't like the liability or
Yeah,
the
I don't.
cost.
I have a
Yeah,
rule: no fires in my rentals.
yeah, 100%, especially up down. It has not been a selling feature. Like I haven't met one person that hasn't gone to a unit of mine. Oh, I wish it had a fireplace. So I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Something I want to point out: a lot of people are hesitant with doing basement apartments, especially spending like $100,000 renovating a place.
True.
A couple of little things to look out is like you see how this is kind of from the 70s. Same thing with this
Yeah,
carpet. Uh, quick look is like you don't see any water stains
yeah,
on there, and the carpet still looks in good shape. And if there was ever a flood at some point between 1970 and now, you would see that on here. And
yeah.
that's the little thing. Unless somebody bought more of this and put it on.
I was just gonna say, it doesn't look like a 2022 carpet job to you, George.
uh, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you can buy
Oh,
this
I don't
anymore.
think.
Even if you tried.
I don't think so. No, I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Just little things like that where it's like you know that a certain material hasn't been used for at least 20 years and it looks fine in a spot where water could get to, then you know that thing hasn't had water exposure in the last 20 years. Simple
Mhm.
conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
the
do like,
basement.
before you jump into that, I do like how big that room is too, the living room. Like
Yes.
just right off the bat, it looks like a lot of workable space without having to do any kind of weird structural stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good to begin with.
Yeah.
And you do have a bathroom. That's a lot of the expense goes to the plumbing for that, for the basement unit, right? So
Yeah.
having a bathroom here already, even if you decide to get rid of all of it and redo it, just the fact that you already have drains there makes a huge difference.
Sure. Yeah. 100%.
Here's the bedroom, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get in from the side door.
Yeah.
Nice big backyard. You already have a patio space as well. Something I've seen people do is they would put a fence right down the middle here, and then
Yeah. I
each
love
unit
to do
has a
that.
half. Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah, and I mean you could do it pretty cheaply too. Like I know some people have done the full wood fence type thing. We've done, even as simple as chain link. I think just something that helps people define their own space. They really, really value that. Right? Especially summertime. They love having their own space. I mean, I would if I was living there, right? So
Yeah, I think you can probably put it right where the concrete pad ends. Put a
yeah.
fence, and then one unit can have. They both have their own space to put a barbecue or some chairs. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So looking at the windows in the basement, they're not quite big enough for egress. I don't think so. You might have to account for making one of these bigger for legal egress
Yeah.
purposes. Yeah, that's the rest of the photos.
Yeah. Nice.
Decent sized lot.
Definitely.
Room to put a definitely. There's more than enough room to put a garden suite in the back if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'And where was this one again? This was on the west end, right?
20 Union Street.
Yeah.
So
So just off of
those,
Okay, so next to college in Sydney. So again, tons of quick access to transit.
yeah,
Pretty busy area for sure.
it is, and especially as this area develops a little bit more, I wonder if this area, because there's a whole new development with those condos and townhouses and things like that
Yeah,
going on here, right?
yeah,
And
for
yeah,
sure.
very easy to for buses if you want to do student rentals, for example.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, let's go to the numbers now. That's what we're here for.
yeah.
20 Union Street. Well, that's a strange number. 4349. Too often. Am I on the right calculator? Yes, I am. Okay.
Yes.
So what are we saying after we convert this to the basement to a legal apartment and renovate the upstairs to a you have a 3-bed 1-bath upstairs and then a legal 1-bed 1-bath in the basement? What would you say the after repair value is?
I'm gonna assume full reno. So everything we said, full paint, that kind of
Yeah.
thing, make it look nice, new kitchens. I'd say 650 seems to be pretty standard for these things. For duplexes. I mean, I guess downstairs is only a one bedroom though, right?
Yeah, maybe I might take off maybe
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
10,000 just for that.
Sure, yeah.
It will hurt us. It hurts us more for the rental income than the
100% the
ARV,
ARV.
in my opinion. So with
Mhm.
a 3 bed, up top, you said, I think we talked about this earlier, 2,300 up top.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Again,
Yeah.
assuming full reno's done, right? New kitchen,
Yes.
stuff like that. Yeah,
And a nice updated 1 bed in the basement.
yeah. So let's say 1500 plus utilities. So again, I'm assuming we're splitting everything,
Yes.
or at least as
Having
much
the
as we can.
tenants
Yeah,
have meters all their own names. They pay for everything themselves.
yeah.
Yep. We have our 2% vacancy rate that we factored in. Property taxes. Oh, got it back to the list. Off. Closed it by accident.
I can just tell you.
3100. You can tell me?
Yeah, I have it open here on my second screen.
Oh, divided by 12. That's your monthly property tax. Insurance. We usually say 150 for
Yeah,
duplexes, 5% repairs, 6% property management. And since we're going to go through the work of um, separating the utilities, we're going to say zero because the tenants are paying for everything. And again, no
yeah,
condo fees, of course. So at a purchase price of 430,
yeah,
yeah, 20% down. That's how big your mortgage would be on the purchase, on the buy.
yeah.
And then, I think I changed this already. I believe the monthly payment is now is according to the after repair value. So our down payment required is that much money. Our closing costs 434 around $5,000. So I would say our closing cost is around 7,500,
Yeah.
including lawyer costs and things like that. Renovations. How much would it cost to convert this to a legal apartment in the basement and renovate the upstairs? Um,
So,
we do get
like,
some points for the fact that the basement already has a kitchen, already has a bathroom,
yeah, it's a
but the
huge
upstairs
plumbing expense.
is dated, so we had to tackle that as well.
Yeah, upstairs is primarily cosmetics. So what do you think? 110 to 120?
You do have to consider the fact that the downstairs, the square footage is smaller, so all the fire separation you have to do, you actually have to do way less of it, just from a total
Sure.
square footage standpoint.
Yeah,
Because you're looking at probably maybe 500 square, 600 square foot downstairs
sure.
instead
Yeah,
of the
versus a
typical
typical two
1,000.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so you save money there.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I'm thinking 100. Does that sound right?
sure. Let's do 100. Yeah, you're right. It's a one bedroom versus the typical two.
Yeah.
And you already have plumbing, but you'll be splitting utilities. So yeah, it'll trade
Oh,
off.
I'm starting to like this property already because with an
Yeah,
ARV of 640,
yeah,
uh, your new mortgage, which is 80% of that, is 512,
yeah,
and you pay out your existing mortgage of that, you actually get a whopping $164,000 back to you.
yeah.
That's not
That's
bad, huh?
cool.
You imagine
Yeah, I
getting a
mean,
check for that much money.
100%. I mean, even 120
But
k mortgage, 120k reno, you want to go over the moon, and you're still
yeah,
doing quite a bit.
let's since the number is so, let's tone it down even a little bit. Let's say
30?
the appraiser is ridiculous,
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it
Sounds
says
good.
we're only at 620.
Yeah.
You're still
Let
you're
it-
still all in only at $46,000.
Yeah, which is unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With that
unreal.
being said, uh, because of the new mortgage being so big, the it is slightly cash flow negative
Yeah.
from. But that's here's the thing, guys. You don't have to take out 80% of that, right? You can
No.
choose to take out 70%, 60, 50%, whatever you may be. You may not want to refinance at all. You're okay with a 350K mortgage and call it a day, and then just sit on it until the interest rate environments are a little bit better.
I've seen people been doing one of two things. One, which is, pull out just enough to stay cash flow positive, assuming your
Hmm.
maintenance reserve. But I've also seen some people who do have extra borrowing power, pulling out as much as they can, but keeping aside a bit of a reserve of their own from that refinance money towards that cash flow negative. But then, recycling a lot of that capital into a second purchase right away. And there's some people who do feel prices are lower than it's going to be 2 years from now. So I don't know. It's up to people's risk tolerance. But I've seen people been doing those two things.
I mean, here's the thing. Uh, at the end of the day, you're investing $46,000 and you're getting 400% returns on your money. So Some people may not be okay with the idea of $200 a month negative cash flow, but they're getting 500. They're 5x in their money effectively in
Yeah.
in 1 year. So um, not a bad gig, in my opinion. But
Mhm.
we can always turn this down. Let's say the appraiser only thought it was worth 600,000, right?
Sure.
That sure your cash flow negative amount is a lot smaller, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's this property. Let's move on to the next one. Um, and again, this property just listed 3 days ago, so a very new property. Very interesting property, in my opinion. All right, moving on to this property. So this property, if you look at the shape of this property, this is what they call them, either a raised bungalow or a high ranch bungalow. The reason for that is the basement seemingly sticks out quite a bit above the ground. And as a
Mhm.
result of that, the windows are a lot bigger. And when you're standing in the basement, it just feels like you're above ground because the ground really hits your at the chest level, as opposed
Yeah.
to feeling like your head is still underground. So I really like these designs for duplex conversions. And what's really cool is that when you walk into the front door, you have half a flight of stairs up and half a flight of stairs down. So opportunities to make a common entrance and then have a door to go to each unit from there as well.
Yep.
And look at that parking. I don't. You're okay with parking for this property.
Yeah, that's a huge driver for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think some of it's the neighbor. I think this is
Mhm.
the neighbors. But still, you got more than enough for 2 lanes.
Mhm.
Roof looks good.
Yeah.
Decent sized yard. Oh, why are they? Usually they don't put exterior photos in the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that a good thing or?
It's only it's a bad thing if no interior photos follow.
Yeah. Let's see. The suspense builds.
I actually haven't clicked through the photos yet, so surprise
Yeah.
suspense for me too.
Yeah.
All right, it's not. It's just green. That's all.
Okay.
That's
It's
that's
just
an easy
green.
fix.
Yeah.
um,
It's
so
just
this
green.
describes the half a flight of stairs up, half a flight of stairs down solutions, right? You put a door on the left, you put a door on the right, boom, you got your entrance to each unit. Super
Yeah.
simple. Okay, it looks fine in my opinion. It's just green.
Did it. Just green.
It's
Yeah.
just a
So
simple
like,
paint.
I'd paint it. I'd probably upgrade the baseboard just so it'll look a little, more modern. Kitchen there looks like it could use some a refresh.
Would you just paint the cabinets?
In this case, I would because it's like at least based on the pictures, they look pretty solid, and it's a lot of cabinets.
Yes.
So yeah, sand it, paint it, nice new knobs on there. Make sure everything's in good shape. Yeah,
Okay, interesting. It looks like the heating is electric in this house,
yeah,
which makes it really easy to split utilities.
100%.
Look at those big windows too. Dude, that was
Yeah,
actually really big.
yeah, they're nice.
I thought the countertops were made out of wood
Yeah,
because it matches the cabinet so much.
yeah,
Oh yeah, oh look at that. They got a heat pump.
heat pump, nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
gonna
already
be
got that.
key.
We were
Yeah,
gonna so as an investor, we were gonna pay was it 5 grand to put that in anyways. It's nice
yeah,
that it comes with it.
yeah.
Would you consider removing this wall? Potentially, depending how much
Uh, Not really, to
it
be
feels like
honest.
it's kind of ruins the
So it depends.
yeah.
I'd have to look to see if anything's structurally, if it's structural at all. If it is, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
not, it's
consider
not,
it.
you're not gonna get the ROI on it, man. If you're once
Yeah,
you
and
get
it's
into structural work, you're not. Nobody cares what's behind the walls.
and also it's one of those things where like if I'm not touching the flooring anyways, if I take this wall off, now I have a hole on the ground that I have to now I'm like, oh, now I have to do all the flooring because I can't just leave this with a hole there. So just little
Yeah,
things like that makes you decide if you want to do this or not. If you're gutting the whole place, then you might as well do it, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Another view of the common entrance. Interesting light fixture.
Hmm.
This one's pink instead of green.
Yeah, that's the change.
Yeah, new baseboards too. I think these are the super thin ones from back in the day.
Yeah,
Okay. Just more of the same. It looks like we're just going to be painting the pink walls, taking out the carpet, putting normal flooring in, and potentially doing the trim. If you wanted to be cheap, you could just paint them. But I find new trim goes a long way sometimes, especially if you're changing the doors.
Gotcha.
Okay. It's just more of the same paint, floor, trim, right?
Yeah. I
My
think
favorite
the
kind of right
whole
now.
house has just been, yeah, that's the whole house so far.
Yeah, even the
Oh, look
bathroom is
at
blue.
that's aqua. I don't know. I feel like that's not even blue. I
It
don't know
looks like
how
it's.
to describe
This
that,
reminds
but
me of Barbie.
oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So this grab bar is interesting. Um, there is a surprisingly large number of people who need grab bars in the city, in Belleville and Trenton. Have you
Hmm.
ever found features that are beneficial for accessibility? Would you intentionally leave them in and advertise it for your rentals?
I mean, so one of the things I learned about advertising rentals is that you want as many eyes on it as possible. So the short answer to your question is yes, I would put it there. Have I seen a necessary benefit to it? Not really. The biggest impact in terms of accessibility that I've found has been ramps,
Yes.
going in and out. That has been like, game changing. Everything else, I would totally have it on there. I would totally market it. I just haven't
Yeah.
necessarily, yeah, you know,
Guys, if you buy a property and it already has a ramp, don't get rid of it if it's for
not.
rental. Trust me.
Do
Trust me.
not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. More of the kitchen. It's nice. These are kind of I can't tell, but these look like they might be the actual solid wood ones. I'm not
Hmm.
100% sure. Maybe not. But here's the basement. Wood paneling, carpet, electric baseboards. You're just taking all this off and putting drywall, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
This is interesting. I wonder why they
Yeah.
insulated only the top half.
Good question.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know why.
Could be
But I
water
mean,
at some point.
I don't see any marks. That's what I'm looking for, right? But I guess
Yeah, I
it's
can't
cinder
tell.
blocks. It's kind of hard for hard to see.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Ceilings
we'd have to
look
get in there and
very
kind
tall,
of
eh?
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do look pretty
obviously
tall.
you wouldn't be buying the site unseen.
No, especially these days.
Yeah. It looks like there's a bathroom in the basement, but it looks like it's just a powder room. So you'd have to
Yeah.
rearrange this to put a tub or shower. Should be fairly easy considering you have a toilet drain here.
Yeah.
More storage space. Yeah, good height ceilings, man. These ceilings have no problem. And the
No.
fact that this thing it looks like it's all electric, so there's no HVAC, there's no ductwork, so even more
Yeah.
headroom for the basement.
Yeah. 100%.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Lots of space
lots of
down
space.
there. Man,
Yeah.
I think this listing said one bed, but I'd probably be looking to see how I could fit a second bedroom in there somehow.
Oh no, this one's has no in-law suite whatsoever.
No, I know, but I think initially when I looked at it, I thought it was just a good enough for a
Oh,
one bedroom unit.
no. So here's my
Um,
thoughts for this property. It's a three
yeah,
bed, one bath up top, and there's no space. Is it three bed? Yeah, it's three beds up top, and downstairs you have. It should be you should be able to build an exact mirror image of the upstairs downstairs because
yeah,
there's no furnace. Think about it.
yeah, yeah,
So and unlike Belleville, Trenton doesn't have number of bedrooms as a limitation in their bylaws. I'm 99% sure. So
yeah,
you should be able to build a three bed down there as well.
yeah,
What
yeah.
what are your
That'd be
thoughts about
interesting.
that?
I think if you could fit it, the only thing, can we go back to, yeah, I guess the driveway, that would be my only concern is the parking, but that doesn't look like a concern.
Well, three beds, you still only have two cars. I've noticed, right?
Yeah,
It's just people with more kids. I find.
yeah,
Not, I think that skews a little bit worse in a tenant demographic perspective, but it's for additional rent,
yeah,
100%, right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's enough for three cars for one unit and two cars for the other, just
Yeah,
from just basic these pictures. Obviously, you want to go take a look to confirm.
yeah.
All right, and I don't think you guys saw this, but the purchase price is under 400K.
Huh.
I'm sure the green and pink walls has something to do with it, but for us investors, we know that that's a super simple fix, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
property I bet if this thing didn't have green or blue walls, pink and blue walls, it'd probably be over 400,000.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It's a sweet price.
yeah. What are your thoughts about the neighborhood?
Oh, I know we're having some chats about that. I don't know how I feel about the neighborhood.
So
That's my only thing. Yeah, like
this
it
area is great, but it's tucked away. This one's more on the main street because the Water Street is this street,
that's
right?
that's the thing. And I just need to look into, what the flood zones are for that area as well.
Hmm.
Because you're right by the Trent River, right? That may
Yes.
have an impact to insurance as well, similar to the one we looked at last week.
Yeah. A little bit maybe a higher. Oh, it's you know what? It's gonna be a pain in the ass to pull out of the driveway because how this is a fairly medium traffic road, but you get the park across the street, man.
Yeah,
That's pretty sweet. And yeah, again,
yeah,
plenty of parking.
yeah,
Very cool property.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the only thing is on that main street. That's my only little qualm about this property. That being said, the numbers seem to be working so far. So let's jump into some more numbers. Let the
Yeah.
numbers dictate what we do.
375 was it? 375.
Yeah,
After we're done, I think we talked about this one being the full size instead of having only a one bed in the basement. This one is at least a 3 bed up, 2 bed down, and a
yeah,
very high likelihood of it being a 3 bed down there, right? Or
yeah.
if you wanted to go fancy, you could do 2 bed, 2 bath. Although I don't really see much
No,
value in
no.
that. So I think based on especially a lot of my recent clients' refinances and appraisals, they've been hitting 600 pretty consistently.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna say 600 for this one.
Okay.
Rental income wise, let's assume 3 bed for each up and down. What rent would you
Yeah,
say for this place?
yeah. I don't know if we're gonna disagree on this one, but I just feel like the way the rental market's been lately, it's been lower. So I'd say 2150 upstairs
Okay,
and probably 1950 downstairs.
that's pretty much around where I was thinking. Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The extra bedroom in the basement really helps actually,
that's what's driving that up. Otherwise, yeah, for sure.
and with the whole thing being powered by electric baseboard, very trivial to split utilities,
Yeah,
and and you're turning a legal basement, so you're gonna be ripping up all the ceilings, so separating the
yeah,
water be fairly trivial as well.
yeah.
Okay, so 4,100. This actually brings more money than the other property. Funny enough, huh?
It does. Yeah, look at that. That's why I said let the
uh,
numbers dictate, because my biases would have driven me away.
yeah. Where's the property taxes? 2,656. Okay, and insurance. Let's say it's a little bit higher because it's close by the water, right?
Yeah, sure.
Same for this, same for this. No utilities, no condo fees.
Hmm.
So what's interesting now is you're buying with only 75,000 as a down payment.
Yeah,
With that being said, um, 100. So it's like 6,000. Renovations. Renovations. This one needs a lot of work upstairs as well.
yeah,
So this
yeah,
will push the renovation fund to definitely over 100,000.
yeah. At least 130, 135, in my opinion, because
Okay.
you are gonna need. I didn't see any heat pumps in the basement. Probably
No, so
missed
you're
it.
doing that for sure.
Yeah.
And
I have a feeling the way that awkward bathroom in the basement. I have a feeling they might need to get a little creative with the shower plumbing. Like it won't be hard, but it may require some messing around with some walls. Like not structural, but still, it'll just be annoying. Those little death by 1,000 cuts, I think, will be good for
yeah,
that.
and it's like
That's
one
how
of
you
those
get a good.
things where little things like that when you open up these walls, when you open
Oh
that
yeah,
up, it's gonna be styrofoam with 2x2s.
yeah. So insulation, you're gonna need insulation. You need yeah.
Yeah,
So
stuff like that really just it adds up, right? And you don't know for sure. Like, is there a chance there's real 2x4s with pink insulation behind it?
yeah,
It's
no.
possible.
Okay, you're no.
I'm an optimist.
You are an optimist. Yeah.
But I have seen properties where we opened it up and we were surprised to find like one of my clients actually who we closed in
Yeah.
August or September, I don't remember.
Yeah.
We kicked open a hole in a wall and we found pink insulation. It's already R20.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? The property isn't that old, so maybe.
No. Maybe,
We
right?
should take
Because this would
bets.
have
Somebody should buy that just so me and George can make a bet on this. I bet you a
this
hundred
type
bucks
of
it's not.
this type of home was built in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
They didn't
So
build
it
these in the
might.
50s. So it might.
Yeah. So yeah, it might.
All right. So everything's the same, but the renovation money fund it's a cheaper purchase price, but you got to pay more for renovations. That's
Yep.
the exchange you're getting here. Um, so with the ARV of 600,000, you're buying for 375. So your down payment's 75. Well, that's the easy number. Your down payment 75. Your mortgage is 300,000. Isn't that sweet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you put in 135,000 renovations, so you're all in just over 200K. But your ARV being 600,000, 80% of that is 480. Take out your original mortgage amount, you get a nice fat check for $180,000 when you're done.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
With since you invested 210, 216 with 180 back, that means you have $36,000 left in the deal, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. You walk away with leaving not much left in the deal. Keep in mind, guys, this is a super simple calculator. We're not accounting for things like the fact that you might have to be paying utilities while you're renovating and like holding costs. And if you're borrowing this money, there's interest associated with that as well. So this is a super simple calculator that I don't want to go over everyone's head, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With that being said, from a cash flow standpoint, you're making over $4,000 a month. Your operating expense is $872 with your mortgage, and this is with the this is with the ARV of 600,000 at 6.5% interest rate at 30 year amortization. Your mortgage is just about $3,000. With a $4,000 income and a $3,000 mortgage and $8 something expense, that leaves you with a little bit, $100 or so cash flow. Which it's always nice to be cash flow positive, right?
Especially in today's day and age, and if you're pulling a bunch of money out.
Yeah, to be left with a cash flow positive asset with only $36,000 in, I'm personally
That's the game.
happy with that.
Yeah, that's the game, right? That's the whole game.
There's 180,000. What this means is you buy another one of these and you do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you're accumulating another cash flow positive asset. And because of how percentages work, we're doing percentages of how much money you actually have invested. So you get a stupid number for this property because of how little amount is in here. 700% sounds good, but it's 700% of 36,000.
Yeah.
But with that being said, who doesn't want to have a big percentage of their money, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, so that's
a nice one too. Two solid ones. Two solid conversions.
Two solid ones.
Conversions in a while.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the other ones we've done, they've been existing duplexes, so we wanted to tackle something a little more renovation heavy and show numbers on that side. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with this kind of stuff quite yet, but we did want to show you what this kind of project would look like.
I mean, and that's what we're here for, right? To help.
There you go.
On a project like this. So
1983 is when it was built.
Okay.
So there's a good chance of doing 2x4s in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So save you some money there.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. We'll call it a day.
Yeah.
Let me stop screen sharing. So here, I was gonna hold up. If you wanted to reach Ribhu, you can find him at his website, ribhurampersad.ca. He is a mortgage agent who specializes in investment properties, and he has a very successful investor himself with a large portfolio. He's able to help you out with any complicated or even simple deals. He's here to help you out, and you can click on book a call with him to find him there. And this is my website, georgewang.ca. I'm a real estate agent in the Belleville area, and I'm pretty much 99.9% of the time I deal with investment properties. That's my bread and butter. It's what I love to do. I love doing it. And if you wanted to have a chat, see what opportunities are available in the Belleville area. And remember, these two properties we talked about, they just got listed. So they're technically available now. So if you're interested in those ones or other ones, feel free, click on schedule a call and we'll have a chat. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll catch you guys next week, 7 p.m. same time.